This is the B-side, B-side, B-side of marriage. This is the B-side, B-side, B-side of marriage.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Bside of Marriage Podcast. I'm your host, Rashonda, and this is my husband and co-host,
Jason.
And here at the B-side, we talk about everything related to marriage. The good, the bad, the real, the A, and the B-side. And if you're checking us out on YouTube, please be sure to comment and subscribe. Or if you're listening on any of the audio platforms, please be sure to rate and review so that others can help find the show.
As well, follow us on Facebook at the Bside of Marriage and on Instagram at Bside of Marriage.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, let's begin. Okay, so we like to start every episode off with our first segment is where we share an A or B side moment from our week. So Jay, go ahead.
Being that we didn't record last week. Mm-hmm. I guess my A side is gonna be not last week, but the week before that.
Okay.
I'm just so my A side was just actually being at my niece's wedding. This celebration of her union to her husband. So it was, like I said, it was really good. Got choked up.
Yes, you did.
Held it together for a while, but then I didn't. So. But that's my A side, and actually also is that was the first wedding our children got to go to, and at first it was a little, I guess, hesitant, but it seemed like they enjoyed themselves.
You mean at the actual ceremony or
at the
taking
wedding?
The trip? Because
I'm talking more on the ceremony.
Okay.
So I think they enjoyed themselves. Started dancing and stuff like that. So
yeah, it was really nice seeing like the kids all dressed up, and especially the boys. The boys, man, if they could wear PJs every day, they would be wearing them. Mm. And so to see them in suits and everybody all dressed up and cleaned, it was really cute.
Yeah, and everybody talking about, they sharp. That's what I was getting all night.
Yes.
So,
and then they were really great during the ceremony, for sure. Like quiet. I honestly was able to forget that they were there. And really just be in the moment, be in the ceremony. So It was good. What was funny is that at the end, our youngest, as the bride and groom and the bridal party are exiting, he lets out this big breath like he had been holding it in the whole time. I was glad you did good. You made it all the way through. That's good.
Yeah. What about you?
Mine's a B-side.
Okay. Okay.
Well, so it's just, I like to have a clean house, We pay to have someone help clean the house every so often. And I just would really like to at least get 12 hours to enjoy the first sense of a clean house. That is not the case with kids around. Literally, they're like, as soon as one room is cleaned, they've come in and they've trashed it.
It's literally like they just took a garbage can that was full and just go, hey.
Yeah, I'm just like, can your mom just enjoy a couple of hours of clean? Like literally, we went out to eat so I wouldn't have to cook because I really don't like when I have to mess up a clean kitchen. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, what are you guys thinking? So so just being able to really enjoy a clean house would be great. But that's not the case. That's not been my testimony for a while now. It's just frustrating.
Oh, and they're not even all teenagers yet, so.
No. I figure as they get older, then if they want their rooms to be cleaned, it needs to be clean because I'm pretty sure a lot of women can relate with me on this. Is that we do a pre-clean before our house cleaner comes, and so they will have to do a pretty decent pre-clean, and so that I don't want anybody thinking that we're messy people. So.
Even the cleaning people.
I mean, yeah, but I don't want them to be like, that house over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they'll have to do a pre-clean. They have to basically earn the right to be able to have the house cleaner come in and clean up their rooms. But yeah, so.
All right. So next is our P2P share, where we share something we are listening to, reading, etc. Right? Etc. So I'll start with you. So do you have a P2P share?
I don't. Simple as that. I don't. Only because school has started again for me. All of the things that I said I was going to do beforehand have not gotten done. All the things I was going to... Oh, I do have something. As I'm like rambling on. This is all from... This P2P share is really for the churchy people. If you like kind of church drama, check out Kingdom Business.
Oh.
It's a show on BT Plus. You get to see Yolanda Adams in rare form, but it's really it's a good show. The first episode and a half probably was a little slow, or a little Tyler Perry-ish, but it does pick up after that, where you get caught up in the story and stuff. So
you get caught up. I'm not.
So I think that's if you have BT Plus, check that out.
Yeah, it's a good show. You will. I'm guarantee you gonna get sucked in. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, and it's like 9 episodes, whatever. But I was able to binge it because I was late to the party.
Was it? I don't remember. I watched it.
Anyways, I watched it all in one day. So
and I'm not gonna give anything away, but when you watch a show and somebody that you like, you feel like you know them, like you family, goes left, and you really like, I can't stand this person, that means they did a good job.
Yes, I didn't think. Yes,
that's what I don't want to give it away.
I didn't think Yolanda was a good actor until our show. So,
all right.
So that's mine, though.
I don't have one. That's why I kind of threw it at you. See.
Well. So then you're gonna piggyback off of mine? Okay. Fine.
Yeah, I didn't have anyone. Actually, well, I'll I guess a P2P share. Okay. My wife has been, kind of get me to listen to Maverick City more and more, and we actually went to a concert this past weekend. So, if their new Freedom album is pretty dope. So. Kingdom, you mean? What did I say? Freedom?
You said Freedom. Is it? Because one of the lyrics is like...
Oh, that's why. I was like, okay, I'm sorry, Kingdom. Yeah, but it was like, we went to a concert, it was good, and Kirk Franklin was there, and it was, like I said, it was really good. Really good. Really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, also, if you're able to catch them, I don't know where they are within their tour, but yeah, please check them out. It was amazing. The crowd that they were able to
pack in.
Well, yeah, that were coming to see them. It was like you would have thought it was a secular act, like either R&B, pop, whatever, because people were in the place.
They were in the building.
And it was just really great, like, to just kind of see, like, especially because their album's about kingdom, like kingdom building, and just to see, like, truly when they have a song where it's like, if you want to see what heaven looks like, just look at you and me. And you can really see what heaven will look like. It was people from all denominations, all ages. It was just great. And then, worshiping God and celebrating, who he is. And
yeah, people all the way up to 80 years old.
Yes.
80 years old there. So it was really good.
Yeah, so yeah.
So I guess, what are we talking about today then?
Well, before we jump into our episode, we want to share something with you guys. Check out this ad from a podcast from another married couple who we've met, we've e-met, and just kind of vibe with. We're pretty sure you'll want to tune into their show as well.
Check it out.
What's up, good people? Katoya and
Damon.
here with Sum It Up with the Summoners, the podcast you didn't know you needed.
Come on.
All about relationships and marriage. And I was going to say advice, but it's not advice. It's just a conversation. That's what we're here to have with you. Ways that we want to open up and talk more with you about your relationship, our relationship, other people's relationship, and just sharing in our pros, our grows, the cons, all of that that goes into a relationship. We'd like to think of us as moving from those kitchen conversations, the dinners, sitting at the table when you're like, you know what? Why don't we head to the living room and let's just keep chatting some more? So that's the vibe that we want to share with you over at Sum It Up with the Summoners.
Absolutely. Episodes drop every Tuesday morning. You can find us on all of the podcast platforms. And again, as a couple who've been married for 14 years, we're just trying to share our experiences.
Yeah.
We're just getting a chance to bring you along for the ride and have conversations and spark up more dialogue at the house. So check us out, Sum It Up with the Summoners, over on Instagram as well. Follow us. We appreciate you.
All right, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about family of origin, but we're going to say wedding edition because, you know, we are blessed to have a niece and a nephew who are getting married this year. Yep. With everything opening back up, with the world kind of opening back up. A lot of people are actually like doing the ceremonies, the receptions that they wanted to do if they did get married during the quarantine and when the pandemic was really intense. So we want to just talk about this and how family of origin has an impact on your relationship, your marriage, your wedding, like all the things. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're at. And also too, we want to talk about this as well because, you know, inflation is real. This is 2022. Everything is more expensive. So we want to just talk about how sometimes how family pressures can cause you to do things that are more expensive or whatever. So we're just gonna talk about it all.
Okay.
All right? Okay. So,
I don't know where we go, but we'll see.
What is family of origin to you?
Oh, I was like, I didn't know you was throwing it to me.
Yes, I am throwing it to you.
So family of origin is kind of basically the way I look at it is your experiences of how kind of like how you was raised, the people you was around, and how that impacts your relationships. I guess that's how I look at it. Yeah,
it's really, it's a culmination.
Yeah,
there we go. I got it out. Of just like your family, like your inner circle. Mm-hmm. Like, so like if your grandparents were really active in your family, because it's not necessarily your household.
Correct.
A lot of people think, oh, these are the people like who were in my house. No. Not necessarily. These are people who had constant, you had constant interaction with. So it could actually even be friends, like family friends who played, who were constantly around in your life, who helped shape just kind of like how you guys behaved and functioned as a family. Okay. And so oftentimes I know when people are getting married or getting engaged, not even before they even get married, it's just like, that was like families in the past, especially if you have some negative experiences or negative relationships with some of your core family members. Mm-hmm. People be like, so they kind of use like their marriage as like an escape. Okay. But we have to remember that even though we may have had some negative experiences or we have relationships with core family members that are not like ideal, that still help shape our mindset, our behaviors, our expectations, which is why it's very important that that family of origin is addressed and talked about if you're dating someone who seriously or engaged or or you're even if you're already married, you still need to talk about these things because family of origin helps to your family of origin help create the person that you are today. So there's, for example, like there might have been something that happening. It could be like, for me, a funny one would be, my mom always made my dad's plate.
Okay.
So he was always, because he was the head of the household, so she always made his plate and served, like he always ate first, like got served first, I shouldn't say ate. He got served first. And I was just like, no, I'm not old school like that. I'm not going to be old school like that. So I'm going to, I was like, Jay's a grown man. If he wants to eat, he go make a plate. Especially if I cook, go make a plate, eat, whatever. So yeah, so I was just like, you're an adult man. You can go make your plate, blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, I'm not doing that. But that one thing, although minor, is something that kind of had an impact on me. Like I didn't like, I don't know. I guess I was just too independent. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe so that was kind of its impact on me. It was like, I'm going to be more independent, that I don't have to be making plates for people. Like I don't even like making our kids plates, especially now that they're of age.
Gotcha.
So it's just like, this is something that I don't want to introduce into our relationship. So it's minor stuff like that, and it can be major stuff, okay? But family of origin is important also too, because we want to build the opportunity for more empathy and a stronger connection with each other. Okay. Meaning, if I know your story, mm-hmm. I know what you grew up with, or not, like kind of your environment, then I can better empathize, especially if I didn't experience that myself.
Yeah.
So I can better empathize with you. I can understand also too, like some triggers. I don't like using that word because that's very it's a popular thing now. But like I can understand things that situations that may impact you mm-hmm. more so than others. As well as because of that, I feel like even though, because we've talked at length about things that I haven't experienced, but I feel like because the way you shared and because you they were important to you, mm-hmm. like I feel a stronger connection with you for things.
Gotcha.
Which is like, the sci-fi movies and stuff like that, because mm-hmm. those are important to you as far as your relationship with your father.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like I feel like I feel like that's why family of origin is important to discuss. Mm-hmm. You have anything you want to add?
Honestly, as we was talking, it made me just think about, I'll say it like this. Family of origin is like your carry-on. And I don't know why this came in my head. Okay. It's like your carry-on. So like you're going on a trip together with your newly wife, right? Go on a family trip together. I mean, a vacation for both of you guys. Mm-hmm. And you guys decide, okay, I don't want to bring everything with me. I'm just going to bring a carry-on. So you bring the carry-on, you get to your destination, you both open up your suitcase. And then what you're the way I look at it is like you guys are sharing, you're opening that suitcase and you're sharing those things with one another. So it's like, okay, like oh yeah, I think I'm gonna wear this the first day, I'm gonna wear this second day. I don't know why that came in my head like that, but that's kind of like, you're sharing with one another those things that are important to you. So like, yeah, you bring in, whatever shorts that you like, things like that. So you're sharing. So I don't know why that came in my head like that, but that's how I was thinking about it. So
yeah, and I think that also plays into like your expectations mm-hmm. and your values and your behavior like within your relationship, right? So like if you like in your carry-on, if you have like, because I know we're going to go out to dinner, so mm-hmm. I've packed these like dress up or like dress to your outfit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, we're going to an all-inclusive resort. I'm just going, or whatever, my beach cover-up, that's what, So it's just like, your expectation of if we're going out to eat, I would like us to dress up. Mm-hmm. Although it may seem minor, that could be big because, that's just like frustration. Yeah. But because you're sharing mm-hmm. what is in your carry-on, like you already know what the expectation is, and you have to discuss it.
Correct.
Also, too, on a bigger scale is children's
Oh, you said child. I'm
I
like,
did say child, but then I was like, I need to make it plural just in case people want to have more. But like not talking about a family and what does a family mean in your relationship
yeah.
is big, because some people who have come from large families, they like, nope, been there, done that. I want a small family, if a family at all, you know. And then also too is like, yes, I want a small family, but what is small? Because if you come from a big family, your small might be 4 kids, 4
or 5. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like that's why it's so important to talk about those things, because like I said, it helps you set expectations and to talk about expectations instead of having unmet expectations. Because if you go in and you both say, yes, we want to have kids, one's from a big family who loved it, I can be from a small family and hated it.
Yeah. So you like, I don't want
So those don't mesh.
Yeah.
So how is that going to work? Okay. So then it was like, yeah, but we've talked about it. Because you're like, oh yes, I came from a big family. I loved it. I want to have all the kids. And I'm saying, no, I want to have a family, but let's just have a couple. So then, but that's when we talk about it and we iron out those things prior to getting married. And so I understand that. Now, some people may still not be buying that family of origin will have an impact on their marriage.
Okay.
So let's just give a couple scenarios as to how, in addition to the ones we've already done, let's talk about how
I'm waiting for the question.
well, how family of origin does impact the marriage.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to throw out the area that I feel like
Okay.
will be impacted, and you come up with a scenario.
Oh, you tripping. Okay. I can
some
try.
if you
I can
get
try.
stuck.
I
Okay.
can try.
All right. So in the area of emotional closeness, how can family of origin have an impact on a marriage?
I guess for one, it's, let me say, emotional closeness. So I guess not a prime example, but just hugging.
Yeah,
like if you
that's
come.
what I figured you were
Oh, okay. It's like if you come from a family who are affectionate, that you hug each other, you kiss each other, when you leave, when you come, when you go, like all those different ways, and then you meet somebody who their family they didn't have that closeness, that where they always affection, they was always hugging. Is that wrong? No, it's just that's just how they actually, I guess, that was how their relationship was. But not everybody's like that, so.
Yeah, that's a real life example too. Because, emotional closeness also deals with like just being verbal and like emotions and being able to speak what you're feeling, be able to even have that space. Yeah. Like given the opportunity, especially as kids, I didn't have that. Like it was like, kids are to be seen, not heard, get out of grown folks' business. Yeah. What you're crying for, I give you something to cry about,
Wow, yeah, you just...
It doesn't take all that, because with the hugging and stuff, it don't take all that. I don't always have to say I love you, like all that stuff, yeah. So that was me. And Jay's like hugging and I want to talk. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, we're going to talk about what we're going to do? Like, let's go. So he's like, no, let's talk about all of the emotions. And I'm just like, do we got to? Like, can I opt out? Like, opt out of certain things? Yeah. Nah. So, so it was just, it wasn't a bad thing. It was just something that we had to address and figure out how to navigate for our relationship. Okay, so another thing, another area is money management. Okay.
Oh, so scenario.
Yes.
Scenarios. So I guess mine is when I was growing up, wasn't taught money management, didn't see how it was until I was in college, actually, when I had to do it myself. It was always something that my mom took care of. My mom just, like I've said it before in the podcast before, I didn't actually know until I graduated from college how much my mom made. I'm talking about starting when I was born, up until when when she finished. Actually, started years before I was born.
When she retired.
Yeah, when she retired. I said when she finished. When she retired, like her numbers, like, oh wow, like how did you manage $26,000? And that's when you retired. I was like, wow. So I never really learned that. But on the flip side, my wife, she knew about that.
No, I didn't.
I think you said like.
They didn't talk to us.
Oh,
to me about it.
Okay.
I just observed, so my dad would always, so my dad was kind of like oversaw, like our finances. But my mom was actually the person who actually paid them, like because physical checks and stuff like that. And mailing stuff. But I did see like that dynamic. Both of my parents worked, but my dad, I guess, would be considered an entrepreneur because he was a pastor, which was inconsistent pay and, church offerings and all the things. So he was like, oh, y'all just take my check. Yeah. And we were like, no. So, but because of that, it just, like, that's why which is weird that I'm a spender now, but it made more of I have more of a saving mentality because it's all about stability for me. Yeah. But that is, like I said, it's still different because of our childhood, because of our family of origins is why we felt the way we did about money, and then we had to come up with our marriage, like our joint vision and execution of how we were going to do our money management. Yeah,
mission statement, all that stuff.
Yes. So we call this the wedding, family of origin, the wedding edition. So I guess the wedding. Okay. Man, inflation is real, but family is like family and weddings. What is it about family and weddings and wanting all the things and weddings in general are just, to me,
you gotta show off.
Doing the most.
You gotta show off your side. That's pretty much what it is.
Yes. So how does family of origin impact a wedding or the planning of a wedding?
It can get out of hand really fast.
Okay, meaning?
You can have people there that you don't even know, that you haven't talked to in years, or you don't even know this person. But
because they're friends of your parents. They went to school together. Like, Mom, I've never met them. What are you talking about?
So that's one. I guess even the location. It can be a friend or family that owns we're gonna do it here because it's get a discount, but it's still. Out of
your budget.
Yeah, it's still out of the roof. So, I'm out. What you got? Because I'm trying to.
So I have a big one, which is why we did our wedding one way. Yeah. Control.
Oh yeah.
Because there's I don't even know like what is the correct like what are the rules of the game, but it used to be the parents of the bride who were responsible for paying for a wedding, like planning the wedding and all the things. Well, there's sometimes where the groom's family, it's like all the things, but it's about control, because if I'm also too, like, I love my mom. I don't want her planning my wedding. Like, I wouldn't want her planning that for me. That moment, that day is for me. And it's a control thing, because you're like, well, if I'm paying for it, this is what we're going to do. This is who we're inviting. This is what, you know what I'm saying? It just makes me anxious. Like, it's control. Also, traditions, like cultural and religious traditions. Like, oh, well, we do this, and so you got to do this, and you have to put this in the ceremony. It's not necessarily more so of like a cost, because these traditions may be low in cost, but the fact that if that's not something that is in alignment with what you and your husband believe, or your spouse believe in, or want to, do on your wedding day, then you have to be able to say no, right? Yeah. And then the other thing is just money.
It don't grow on trees.
It doesn't. And then sometimes you feel like if you're getting, even if they're giving gifts,
it's not going to equate to.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like a gift.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you say you're giving us this money, but yet I feel like that came at a cost. Like it came with ultimatums and it came with strings attached.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to understand even the impact that family of origin can even have within. Oh, I forgot. Even of the asking, even in the proposal, that can be a thing.
Yeah.
Because, culturally, some people our family origin just be like, listen, I need you to talk to my daddy, which I was very traditional in that way. But, and then others once you do accept the proposal, then there's an engagement party. Then there's all these other showers and specific events that have to happen. And that just gets overwhelming, and that is money.
Yes.
So I have to say, do your wedding like you want to do it, like you two want to do it.
Usually like you. Yeah,
I
was about to say, you forgot me up in there. No.
Like the two of you.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
That's better.
Because you also have to keep in mind that it is truly just one day. One day, and it's the start of the rest of your life together. So if you struggle to set the appropriate boundaries for your family, and don't understand your family of origin, you could be starting your marriage off in a setting it back. As far as
debt is real.
Connection.
Debt is real.
Well, yeah, not even the connection.
Yeah.
Because if we've worked so hard to plan a wedding of our family's dreams, they go home.
Yeah, it's about us.
We mad or we tired because we were like, oh, you didn't do this right.
Yeah.
Or we didn't do this. This didn't go off like I wanted to.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And that's what you're going to remember on your day. You do not want a big foo-foo dress. You give in to your mother-in-law because you want to get in on her good side.
And you ain't happy.
You get the poofiest dress, you have the long veil, and you just look at yourself in those pictures and you're like, I look like a hot mess. And that's a negative connotation you have with your wedding.
Yeah.
Because
for the rest of your life. In your pictures and all
right,
that stuff.
and then you can't wait till you get to a milestone anniversary so you can have a vow renewal.
Yeah.
So you can do it the way you
so you
want
can do
to.
it way, yeah.
That's not what weddings are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So babe, what did we do?
Oh, we did a destination wedding.
Yeah.
You had to be over a certain age.
We did adults only.
Adults only. We paid for everything.
But why we were doing these things?
Because we didn't want to go into debt. That was one.
Okay.
We didn't want to go into super debt, and we want to, again, like you kind of said, control.
Yes, we basically cash flowed our wedding.
Yeah.
We also, Jay comes from a untraditional large family. Mm-hmm. I come from a average family.
Yeah.
With 3 kids, mom and dad. So trying to, and then also to his family group, his friend group was much larger than my friend group.
Yeah.
Okay, I keep them.
Yeah.
I like to keep my circles tight. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. So trying to make sure.
Okay.
Trying to make sure that everybody was in the bridal party was just not gonna cut it.
Oh yeah.
I would have to go find girls to match up to all of his guys.
Yeah.
I'm not doing all that.
Yeah.
So that's what it was like, and we did. So that's why we paid for the wedding, or we paid for the bridal party, like their outfits and stuff, because we were doing a destination wedding, and it was all inclusive. So we just wanted them to just focus on their airfare and getting in their hotel reservation. Yeah.
Yep.
So that. We didn't want them to go in debt either, trying to celebrate our day.
Exactly.
That was just weird. Mm-hmm. And so we did adults only.
Yeah,
because
we did all the favors too.
Oh, well, yeah. we're just talking about the bridal party.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay.
We did adults only too because I had a few nieces and nephews, and Jay had his nieces and nephews, and then people that were of that age that could be, oh, let me be your flower girl, I could do this. We're not doing junior bride, we're not doing junior groomsmen. Nope. That's kind of weird, but sorry if you had that, but that's in my opinion. So we were like, we're not doing all of the things, all of the traditional things. So that's why we did adults only. So we wouldn't have to worry about that, as well as we did all inclusive because our families, our friends like to party and drink. And so we did not want to go, we didn't want to have to get like the premium catering package somewhere. So that's why we were going to do a destination and we did all inclusive, as well as me and Jay are not from the same areas of the U.S. How are you going to deal with that? Where do you get married? We were not going to do this. Oh, let's do, although this ended up happening against our will. But we were like, we're not going to do a wedding here and do a reception there and all the things. But yeah, so that's why we were like, we're going to go somewhere where everybody who really wants to support us,
they can go.
And they don't get a vacation out of it too.
Yeah.
So, yes, another thing we did all of like the party favors, all of the
Save
things.
the dates, everything, any paper stuff, we did it.
Yes.
Meaning like cut it, designed it, tested them out, printed them. Yeah, so we did all of that. Yeah.
Did all that. That's when I found out that I could do DIY, and that there was a whole like world of brides who were doing this to save money. I don't know if we really saved. I guess at the end of the day we did save money, but that was a lot of work. So that's what's like if you incorporate like time, maybe not. But anyways, did all that. Do not regret it.
That was my question. Was like, you regret it now?
No. It was just a lot of work. I just wish I would have known how much work and effort would go into it. Yeah. Whatever. Beforehand, I would have appreciated that. Another thing I will say, this is the one thing that is worth splurging on. Two things. You need to splurge on your photography.
Yes.
Because we had saved so much, or we had saved money in areas where it was not important to us, we was able to flew out our photographer. Yep. And he was the same person who also did our engagement photos. Yep. So like everything was consistent. He knew us. Yeah. So we were able to get the shots we wanted. We were able to do the dress after the wedding. Yep. It was just great. And those pictures are amazing.
To this day, still. To this day. When we look at them,
And so that's what it was like. It's definitely worth getting and paying for a photographer because those pictures, you cannot Photoshop later. You can't. You just can't. You're right. Those are moments that when we see those pictures, we immediately go back to that time, how we were feeling, how it was apprehensive. Like even in our engagement photos, like all of it just brings back. So definitely make sure you don't cut corners on your photography.
Correct.
Also, make sure you get a good wedding coordinator. Like if you're our wedding planner, if you want somebody who's going to plan it all out for you, they are worth it as long as you make sure that you see their work, get those references, check the references, because the day of, you don't want to, as a bride, this usually impacts the bride more so. You don't want to be worried about anything. You don't want to be worried about timing. You don't want to be worried about how this person is interacting with your bridal party. Yeah. Because this is hospitality, right? So make sure you get a good, reliable wedding coordinator so the day of, you can be in the moment. It will fly by. You won't remember anything. You think that, especially coming from a planner, and I had a checklist and all the things, I don't remember the particulars about that day. There are certain things I do remember because they're memories.
The cake.
Oh yeah. Well, that was a disaster. But I actually went to the fond memories. You went to the negative.
I'm funny. Sorry. I went to
But yeah, there's things that like the jokes that me and the girls had while we were getting our hair and makeup done. Like those moments are the things that you need to be focused on. Yeah. The day of. Oh, I do remember it. Wasn't it the day of with the yoga?
Yes.
Okay, so I do remember that negative. Okay, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. That was the planner because I hadn't released it yet. I didn't really release until we got to hair and makeup. But, but make sure you have a good person, a reliable person, because you want to make sure that if anything, things will come up. You want to make sure that that person's going to be on it like you would do it, or even better than you would do it. And if you don't have that trust, or that person has not demonstrated that to you leading up to your wedding day, be okay with finding someone else and said, I thought that was going to work. That's not going to work. Don't feel stuck in anything. All right. So is there anything else that you want to share about our wedding or things to...
I honestly, I can't think of anything. I guess I can't think of anything. It's more the fact that it's, you kind of control what you want your wedding to be like.
No, you definitely control.
Even if, somebody else is paying for it, you have to, like you said, it's about your day. It's not, like, this is the day you want to remember. And like you said, you don't want it to be where you're remembering that day as the worst day in your life. Because again, you're starting a new life with somebody else, so let that day be that joy day that you have. So
right, and that's what it was like. We're not saying don't make concessions, because you will have to. There are two separate people getting married,
two different families,
in two different families. So there is going to have to be some compromise. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that the concept of your wedding matches you guys' relationship, and that you are really doing, like, you're making sure you're incorporating the most important things of each other, so that you can have this this merging of families and of... because it's really marriages are like the blending of of families. Now, we said all that to say, did we have issues?
Oh.
Yes. Did our families agree with everything we did? Absolutely not. But what we did is that we made sure we were on the same page. And then as long as we were on the same page, they had to make a choice. No, I'm for real.
I'm laughing because I'm just thinking about some of the...
And we were okay with that. We were like, literally we had a conversation, like, what are our absolutes, like, things that we're not going to budge on. And we did that, and once we had those few, because it wasn't a long list.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We had those few things. We had people that we were like, these people absolutely have to be there. And what will we do? Because we even had a conversation. So if we say that this group of people have to be there, they can't financially be there. How can we make sure that they get there? So we had even set up kind of like a plan to help make sure that all of our key people would be able to come, because we are the ones who were saying we wanted a destination wedding, right? So we figured that out. Fortunately enough, we didn't have to do anything, I don't think.
No,
I think everybody was able to, because we let them know well in advance.
And on top of that, we had a, what are they called? Travel agent. So the travel agent pretty much, they
handle all that.
They handle all of that, and even just made sure flights landed at the same time and all that stuff. So it was, I don't know why I did that. But so we made sure we had, like, these are our dues. These are the things that because like I said, we wanted people to be on a vacation as well. There were certain things, even within our bridal party, we were like, hey, although they didn't adhere to one, that's fine. It still all worked out. But it's like, hey, these are the events that we're having, leading up to our ceremony. We need you guys to do this, be at this thing,
Y'all have all the rest of the day, whatever, to do whatever. But also it helped too, like them plan their vacation. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so I don't need to do whatever, but this is like, this is like the alcohol cutoff time, and y'all can start partying back up at this time. Like we set all this stuff up in advance.
We had friends who did their own photo shoots on their vacation, so it was like
had a great time.
Yeah.
Great time. So yeah, I was like, but that's what it was like. We just kind of set our guidelines. And because we set our guidelines, we were able to be a unified front when it came to dealing with our families.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think it really did. Our families truly bonded.
Yeah.
Well, they had bonded before.
They bonded before.
But I think it was more like our friend group. Yeah. Our friend group and families bonded that weekend because...
That was really the first time most of our friends got together.
Exactly. Yeah, our core families had gotten together.
But not our friends.
Our friend groups hadn't. So we said all that to say, at the end of the day, it is you two.
Oh, yep.
Do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And be okay with putting your foot down, especially because I know I'm working through this. If your boundaries have not been set appropriately with certain family members, it's okay to reset them today. No matter what happened, no matter what happened in the past or what things you carried on that you felt like you needed to, today's the day. Reset that. Reset it.
That is true.
It's going to be uncomfortable, but you'll get through it. And you'll thank me for it later. You'll thank me for it later, I promise you. Okay. So, our advanced marriage tip is, when a man and a woman marry each other, they are also marrying into each other's families. But that doesn't mean that your family has a seat at you and your spouse's table.
Wow.
So that means... pretty self-explanatory, I think.
No, that's what I said. Wow.
It is the merging of families, but at the end of the day, it's you and your spouse at the table making the decisions, being okay with... You have to be okay with what happens at your table.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Mic drop. Just leave it like that.
That's it. That's literally how we've built our marriage.
Yeah.
We'll be 14 years in December.
In December, yep. Wow.
So we do know a little thing.
Yeah, so...
What about this?
So is there anything else?
Yes, there is. I don't know if you guys know this, but we're premarital coaches, counselors as well. So if you're looking for someone to help you navigate, just getting to know each other and making sure you set your marriage up on the right foot starting day one, actually even before day one, reach out to us.
Yeah.
We have a whole assessment we'll walk you guys through. We'll have walk you through financial, money management, conflict resolution, communication, talk styles, personality types. Yep. We talk through it all, put it out on the table so that you guys can start off on the right foot. So please be sure to check us out. All the socials, our website, everything has ways for you to contact us, as well as in the show notes. But yeah, that's all I have.
Oh, I ain't got nothing else. So if you guys have any topics you want us to discuss, DM us, send us a message. We can get on working on those. Like we said before, just follow, subscribe, share this with somebody. It is wedding season, so somebody may need this. So share this with them.
Share.
And I guess until next week.
Peace.